Time now to talk about food and groceries and even the cola wars. Let's go to the one and only food professor. That's Sylvain Charlebois, of course, from Dalhousie University. Sylvain, welcome back to the program.
Hey, good morning.
So I want to talk about a whole bunch of things this morning. First things first, discount grocery stores. And when I say discount grocery stores, I'm not necessarily talking about like the Maxi chains, the Super C. I'm talking about new outfits, and they're selling expired groceries. They're selling imperfect groceries, produce, and they're reaching a whole new clientele. Let's talk about this. What's happening in Quebec when it comes to this type of new grocery option?
Well, I mean, Quebecers are becoming way more frugal, and independent grocers are noticing. You even have a chain now called Liquidation Marie. I believe they have 6 stores now all over the province, mostly around the Greater Montreal area. But they're looking at going into regions, and you have a lot of different independents. And what they're doing is basically they work with companies up the food chain and see whether or not there are surpluses. Typically, those surpluses would go to, say, food banks or food rescuing agencies and things like that. But now there's a market. People don't care as much. Well, some people don't care as much about expiry dates or best before dates. And best before doesn't mean bad after. And you and I spoke about this in the past. And people are noticing. They know, and they want to save as much money. And savings are pretty substantial. We're talking 50, 60, 70% off. And so people are willing to change their habits and go for these deals.
And, as you mentioned, we've talked about best before and those expiration dates. But I do want to ask you, just what are I don't know if there's legal issues here. If you're buying products and you're trying to sell products that are expired, what should a consumer know here? And what is the limit? If you go into one of these stores, it's on the shelf. I guess you can assume it's safe. How would you handle that side of things?
Yeah, so it's pretty clear in the law if there's an expiry date on the product, and very few products would have an expiry date, like baby formula, for example. Mm-hmm. If there's an expiry date and you're looking at a product and it's past that date, that's illegal. Okay. You're not supposed to be selling that product. Now, if it's a best before date, it's really up to you, to your senses. You decide. There are no laws preventing people from selling products that are past their best before dates. And of course, the other thing that we often see, which is regrettable, are companies changing the best before date.
Uh-huh.
So we've seen some cases in Canada related to that, and so you need to be very careful in terms of how the best before date is written, if it's handwritten or typed. You can tell. Most people can judge whether or not the best before date was, improvised, basically.
Gotcha. And let me ask you if you think that the major players, right, the major grocery chains, are they catching on to this? Because right now you've got these independents looking at this new side of the market here. Do you think any of the major players will start to say, hey, maybe we need to get in on this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And there's one company that caught major grocers' attention. That company's name is Dollarama.
Ah.
So Elias, in Ontario, you got 3 stores run by Loblaws. They're called no-name stores, 1,500 products, all no-name products, in a store that's about 10,000 square feet, no fridges, okay? And you basically go in and you grab what you need, and then you get out. And they keep costs as low as possible. Mm-hmm. Similar to what the Walmart store would do, you have fewer employees. The costs to operate are much lower. And now Loblaw this weekend is actually running a pop-up grocery store downtown Toronto for 2 days.
What makes that special? A pop-up grocery store. What's unique?
A pop-up grocery store. Yeah, I think so. What they're trying to do, I think, is that they're trying to get people to taste different products that are no name or President's Choice. And so there'll be sampling downtown Toronto. and they'll probably try to tease people to get in some of these stores. That would be my guess. But you can tell that grocers are much more nimble, and their approach is faster and quicker and more efficient. And they're going after urban centers with smaller stores and strategies you can deploy very quickly.
I'm just looking at all of those trends, goods that are past the best before, lean new stores that just have shelf-stable products. And now you mentioned this push for less brand name buying and more of those store brand buying. Man, interesting trends in groceries. We're with Sylvain Charlebois. You know him as the food professor from Dalhousie University. Sylvain, I do want to talk to you before I let you go about Cola Wars, Coke versus Pepsi. Now, you want to go on the record here? Are you a Coke person or a Pepsi person?
I've been asked this question a few times this weekend, and I'll be honest with you, I just don't drink that stuff at all. I just don't drink soft drinks. And in our family, we just don't drink that stuff. But I know for many listeners, it's almost a cult.
Okay, but
one way or another, it's really important.
Listen, you do have to pick a side here eventually, right?
Can I be Switzerland on this one, Eli? Can I be Switzerland?
Okay, you can be Switzerland, but there has been a significant move here where a country has flipped their allegiance. Okay, so Costco is the company, I should say, that has dropped Pepsi in favor of Coca-Cola in its food courts. Now, the expansion of it's happening right now. Like the local Costco that I go to is still on Pepsi, but I've seen people posting online of their local Costco across Canada. They've switched over to Coca-Cola. This is a big deal. When a company like Costco and their food courts, which are big business, switches from Coke to Pepsi, from Pepsi to Coke, it's a big deal. Why do you think this happened? Tell me about the business side of this.
I mean, essentially, it's about money. There are two certainties related to the deal. Okay, one, this is likely a multi-year, multi-million-dollar deal for Coke and Costco. And my guess is that whoever was managing that account at Pepsi lost his or her job. I can tell you that. I mean, it's major. And Coke, of course, or Costco, has this famous combo with the $1.50 hot dog, and that comes along with a soft drink, and that soft drink will now be Coca-Cola. It's so the strategy. They made an announcement in January, and now we're starting to see that change in stores in Montreal and elsewhere. But I think it boils down to taste and trends and money, essentially, and the kinds of products that Costco will carry. My bet is that you'll see way more Coca-Cola products than you've seen before. So that deal is probably multi-layered. It's not just about the combo at the food court, but it's about other things as well.
And I guess it goes to show you just the negotiation power of big companies. I wonder who's got the upper hand in negotiations like that. Is it, I imagine it's got to be Costco, right? Because you've got both of these companies, Coke and Pepsi, that desperately want that business.
Oh, absolutely. And there's one reason why Costco has a lot of power. It has members. Mm-hmm. And with members, you have data. And with data, you have a better understanding of the market and where it's going. And that's something that Costco can bring to the table that Coca-Cola cannot.
So, Sylvain, I have to let you go here. I'm going to tell you, and you're going to see this story on X eventually. I'm going to post everything about it. But on Monday, I went to Costco. I was at the food court. It was such a terrible experience. I emailed the CEO of Costco. He responded to me in an hour. Okay, I'm gonna give you all the full details eventually, Sylvain. But it's a crazy story.
Costco is not good at bragging, but it's very good at customer service and responding, for sure.
Very true. Sylvain, take care. We'll talk soon. That's Sylvain Charlebois, the food professor.